CSPP has been the leader, the prime mover, trendsetter ever since the beginning of the professional psychology movement.
I really don't believe that you can find a finer program anywhere in the country. This is a unique program in terms of its practitioner focus and in terms of the kind of care and attention you'll get from the faculty here.
The type of professional that we're turning out is going to be somebody who will be doing things to address some of the needs that are in our society.
Students are encouraged to understand who they are as cultural beings and to learn how to bridge from their own cultural experiences to understand the cultural and individual difference experiences of other people.
This is an environment that nurtures professional growth and development, that nurtures people who really care about what's happening in our world and what's happening in our communities and what's happening between different groups of people. And I think that's a really incredible strength.
The California School of Professional Psychology has been providing innovative training and education in psychology for over 25 years. The school's 4 campuses in Alameda, Fresno, Los Angeles, and San Diego offer programs in clinical psychology, organizational psychology, forensic psychology, health psychology, culture and human behavior, and behavioral healthcare management.
Not only do our faculty have research labs, have international recognition or national recognition for their research, but many of them also have active clinical practices. So students have the opportunity both to learn cutting-edge science and cutting-edge practice.
The student and the faculty member have at their fingertips people with tremendous range and breadth of knowledge and interest and enthusiasm for their work.
We have many students coming from different ethnic and racial backgrounds, as well as students from the gay and lesbian groups and also disabled students. We have students coming in directly from undergrad programs, and we also have students who are in their 40s or 50s who are returning to school to get their graduate degrees.
It's a very supportive environment for them. They can take a lot of risks. They can try new things. They can demonstrate new abilities, and they get a lot of encouragement from the people around them, not only the other students in their group, but also the faculty.
If you have an interest in being a professional psychologist and your interest is in the application of scientific knowledge and psychological theory to people, individuals, and groups, we have a broad and a deep curriculum that prepares you to provide those services.
Each CSPP campus has a unique combination of faculty, curriculum, and program offerings. Students may also choose from a variety of emphasis areas to meet their educational and career needs.
We have emphasis areas in family-child, in health, in psychoanalytic, and in multicultural. We have a family track. We have degree programs in health psychology, biofeedback, IO, as well as in clinical. So I think we have a diverse number of programs.
The PhD program. It's a combination of clinical training to be a practicing clinical psychologist with also substantial research training to be able to do independent research on clinical type issues. The PsyD program is more purely a clinical practice program. It focuses more exclusively on just the direct delivery of services face-to-face.
The multicultural community emphasis area began around 1991. It's a way that students can take a set of different courses that will help them concentrate some of their psychological training in dealing with a particular multicultural population.
The primary focus of the ecosystemic program, or sort of defining feature, is this whole notion of looking at the child in the broadest system, or from the broadest system's perspective that you can look at.
To my knowledge, we are the only APA-accredited doctorate degree granting school that has a full program that emphasizes psychology of women. I think that's very special.
Health psychology is a fairly recent subspecialty within psychology that's emerged on the problems of physical illness that relate to psychological problems.
When people are diagnosed with a specific illness, certain psychological treatments can actually enhance the healing process or can enhance the immune system. The other side of that is that people often experience significant health problems as a result of having certain psychological disorders.
The Health PhD program will really allow me to work in my specialty field, which hopefully will be HIV and AIDS, and to do that as well as work in a variety of hospital settings.
Organizational psychology is basically the application of ideas, principles, theories derived from the analysis of human behavior to the problems faced by people working together in organizations.
You know, how do you motivate these people? How do you get them to work together effectively? How do you create workflows that make the best use of the people who are in the organization?
There's a lot of interest in organizations and organizational change, particularly with regard to the introduction of total quality concepts in organizations these days. So we're introducing those issues and ideas in our curriculum.
We designed it to become a program that studied organizations of the future. And so while some of our theories are based on traditional bureaucracies and how they operate, our program focuses very much on self-governing teams, on the workplace of the 21st century and what that would mean for all of us.
I internship with Coopers & Lybrand, and then I did a project at Scott Paper Company in Philadelphia. And then I decided that I wanted to get even more diverse experience internationally. So I moved to London and then to Brussels, Belgium, and worked there as an independent consultant with Exxon Chemical, with AT&T International, and then began teaching grad school for Boston University.
We've just started a forensic psychology program that is the interface between psychology and the law.
We look at any one of several controversial topics that really plague our society. Topics like whether or not people have a right to refuse psychotropic medication, or whether or not the mentally ill in jails have rights that are different or other than the rights of non-mentally ill inmates.
We see as combining our efforts as psychologists with those in law enforcement, with the courts, with probation, with sociologists, with educators to address such issues as juvenile crime, child custody.
Students really are shaping the future of forensic psychology here. They are truly pioneers in this discipline.
We are looking to train our researchers in our PhD program to do applied research, to be out in the world doing research in applied settings in community mental health centers and hospitals and clinics and managed care organizations, to take the research skills and apply them in the real world and to real world problems.
I did my doctoral project on police couples and their families and how the work impacts an officer and his or her family. And what I did is create a handbook, a resource handbook for clinicians, for general clinicians who might not be familiar with this population.
Our point of view is that the internship is an integral part of the academic training. The internship enriches the courses and seminars, motivates the research, and vice versa.
I worked as a psychologist in the burn center and the trauma center and the emergency room. And that gave me a really exceptional opportunity to look at what makes people really tick at a very basic level.
I worked at geriatric services in San Francisco, working with older folks whose primary difficulties were with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, major depression. I worked at a mental health clinic in San Francisco that dealt with gay and lesbian population. And I worked at Berkeley Mental Health working with teens right in Berkeley High School. We set up a clinic.
I was in 3 different settings
as an intern or a practicum level student before I graduated. That put me way ahead of other folks from more traditional university settings who maybe had one internship experience, fairly limited. It made me a lot more competitive.
We calculate that our students and faculty provide approximately 200,000 hours a year in free or low-cost mental health services to the greater San Diego community.
What specifically we do is provide mental health counseling services to children who are at high risk or at risk, support for their families, and consultation to teachers and other school personnel.
We work with the family court to provide some assessments for them. We have several intervention groups, one for juvenile sex offenders and one for adult sex offenders. We also have a domestic violence program.
The kind of student who will do best here is a student who is determined to make a personal mark, a personal contribution to the world.
We have very few people who do not wind up getting a very interesting position when they finish this program. Many of our students actually are offered full-time positions at their internship sites when they finish, and many of them have gone on to very successful careers as a result of those experiences.
When I walk into an interview for a clinical placement in this area and I tell them that I'm from CSPP, they look at you differently. They all of a sudden, their eyes light up and their ears perk up and they realize that this person has the training, has the clinical background.
The field of managed care really does mean that more and more people will be covered for mental health services than ever before. So it provides a tremendous opportunity for psychologists. It provides a different kind of professional arena and a different kind of opportunity than in the past.
The tools to deal with managed care were given to me in my education. So that has prepared me to deal with the changing times, and whether managed care is here in 10 years or not, we don't know. But I think the tools I have can make me flexible to adapt to those changes.
It's the kind of place that, for me, certainly has just captured my heart. It's a place that's not only a job, it's the kind of place that engenders a sense of mission and purpose.
It's really enhanced my growth and my development professionally, and it's been very rewarding. I've certainly made relationships that will carry with me forward from here on.
It turns out to be the best thing that I've ever done. Not only have I grown as a person, but it's put me in the field that I've always wanted to be in.
I really look at psychology as an open field. It's changed so much, and there's so many incredible opportunities, and I really look at a role that we can play in the world in many different ways, both in business and industry, and most important, in making a difference in people's lives.